Hello, my name is Kindell Forbes. The TED presentation that was of interest and basically inspired me was Susan Cain's The Power of Introverts. The thesis of Susan's presentation was to debunk the theory that being an introvert was a horrible thing. And Susan basically she gives facts and tells great stories of her experiences growing up and how everybody she was looked down upon a bit for being to herself, when in fact that was the very thing that inspired, that was the greatest inspiration to her as far as being able to come up with great ideas and to grow as a person. Her growth didn't come from being in a room full of others, but it came from being inside her books and being able to let her imagination run wild. So um, Susan was very humorous throughout her presentation, which embodies commandment number 8, and that's a great way to keep the audience involved, and that worked very well for her because some of her stories were a little long-winded, and I think that sometimes the audience for maybe 2 seconds started to get lulled to sleep a little bit, but then when she said something funny, like right on cue, they laughed. So they were definitely with her, but it was perfect timing when she was when she had her humorous moments. um, Before I knew what a spark line was, I only watched presentations to, for the information. And, I thought a great presentation was when you didn't stutter or when you didn't have a moment where you just said, so when, when watching Susan's presentation, after reading and reviewing the information about the spark line, I realized how she followed it to a T, how she weaved, between, which was telling her story and giving a little background and facts and insight, and then she would go on to say something along the lines of, well, what think of what a world would be like if introverts were more accepted, or being an individual was more widely accepted, where you can have your own ideas and everything else. And I think by going back and forth, as the sparkline says, between what is and what could be, it made the audience think, it made them wonder, and probably would help a few of them come out of their shell a little bit and realize that if they are introverts, that there is a place in the world for them, and they are an outcast, and they aren't the only one. So I think that the way she did that was awesome. Um, Susan's star moment, I would say, was her unveiling of this suitcase that she had sitting on the stage throughout the entire presentation. I'm pretty sure a couple of people wondered, was it just an oversized handbag and accessory, or was there really some meaning to having this suitcase on stage? And when she finally unveiled it, that it had some books in there that were of great significant meaning to her. They were books by her grandfather's favorite author, who was her grandfather being one of her favorite people, who she mentioned in her presentation. But those books were her suitcase. That was her safe haven. That was her place of introversion. That was her place that when she wanted to go to that, go into being an introvert, that was a place where she can go. And she suggested to the audience that whatever your suitcase may be, whether you're extrovert or introvert, if you're extrovert, if it's about skydiving, it's about rock climbing, or anything that someone who's a little more adventurous may do, have that place to go to, but don't look down upon the person who may just have a bag full of books and they want to do what they do alone. So I think it was a great moment. I think that that's something that the audience would definitely remember, and that's something that they would carry with them. Um, Overall, I think Susan, she was a what they call a naked presenter. She had no slides, she had no script, she had no paperwork. It was just her and the audience, and she, for 18 plus minutes, she managed to keep their attention. So I think that was something that was great. That's something that she was able to hold on to their attention that long, and not lose them, and deliver a powerful message that I'm pretty sure people will and go on to resonate, so to speak. And I know, as for myself, when it comes time for me to do my persuasive presentation, that's something I will definitely take with me. I will be as naked as possible, with as much clothes as possible, but having as little props as possible, but just strong dialogue. And by dialogue, I know in a presentation, most times you don't get the actual feedback from the audience right then, but I just want the audience to be engaged and know that they are included, that they're just not a target, but they are, what they give me back in attention is definitely appreciated. So I appreciate your time, and thank you.